Lo que muchas personas estuvo esperando que sucediera y que pasara, está pasando. Ya los dictadores están desapareciendo. Hoy escuché en la noticia que Cuba se quedaba sola en su dictadura y he visto que el presidente de Colombia está colaborando con los Estados Unidos de Norteamérica para apresar a todas aquellas personas que trafican sustancias prohibidas a los Estados Unidos. Vamos a escuchar lo que Dios, por medio del profeta Brando, tiene en el día de hoy para nosotros. Si usted escucha la voz de Brando en inglés, usted puede darle en la parte de transcripción y le va a cambiar el idioma al español para que usted pueda, si usted no sabe leer o se le dificulta la traducción por textos, usted lo puede cambiar al idioma español que le va a aparecer. Y ahí cuando usted escucha a Brando, no lo va a escuchar en inglés, lo va a escuchar en el español. Así que vamos a escuchar lo que el siervo de Dios tiene hoy para nosotros. Vamos a escuchar.
All right, let's start. You ready? Yeah. Well, good evening, family. Praise the Lord. Thank you for joining us again today. Well, we'll go over some of the news and everything, but I have a lot here. I think Braden has a lot of little articles and stuff that he's found today throughout the day. And sorry, my allergies are overcoming a little bit tonight from all the juniper trees. The cedar trees try to get me in the early spring. It's starting to turn into that time, and the trees start to do their thing, and they make my eyes water. But I'm not crying. They're burning from the trees and the cedars. I think, you know, for one, I'll start off by just saying this: everything we say on the channel, in word and in deed, we give all to the glory of God. Everything. And we're so grateful for the things that we have seen that are coming to pass, that the Lord is protecting people. And we prayed and we've stopped things, I believe, by the hand of the Lord. And I'm so thankful for every single one of you that have come out and prayed with us. And I believe many hands make light work. We were so excited today when the Abraham Lincoln was protected, you know, and they saw the drone, and it was everything we were praying over. Now, would they have stopped it automatically with that without prayer? I believe prayer has a big thing, a big role to pray in everything. In protection of them not releasing anything out of that drone or whatever. I just think, you know, a lot of it, you know, it's amazing to me. You know, whenever you see the things that you're praying over, and it's the same battleship, it's the same everything, and everything falls down and they're protected. No men and women were hurt at all, and so we continue to pray. I don't believe it's just a one and done. I believe this will be something that we need to continue to pray. It's not like, well, we had one drone fall and it's over. No, I saw that other boat out in the water be hit on the side of it. And then we've seen other things concerning the Iran escalation that I can't reveal publicly, for protection for the people that are involved. I want to go over that, and then I want to go over the third. Today's the third. And, you know, you have your people that are, you know, saying, hey, you said a volcano was going off on the third. You said this about the third. No, I'll show you exactly what I said about the third. I have all the clips here. And I'm going to say this. I am not a person who's going to run and hide and say, well, you missed it or you got it right. Because it's not about me. It's not about pride. And for one, I want to say this: everything that I've said is documented, and so I'm showing you what I said. So does it look like some of the things that I said didn't come to pass today? Yeah, it looks like it, in my opinion. I told Braden, I said, it looks like I missed it, and I'm gonna be flat out with y'all. If I miss it, I apologize, and I'm not here to try to sugarcoat it or push it under the rug and pretend it never. I said it. I said the third would smell like a turd so what is it about the third and pride and the things that the Lord has showed me about President Trump having an arrogant heart after Venezuela? Is it right? Venezuela? Yeah. Venezuela being attacked on the 3rd of January and I heard trace, trace, trace. And the Lord had us praying, interceding. It happened on the 3rd, but I specifically said February 3rd. So we see February 3rd. Here we are today. What happened today? What happened today? There was a lot of things that happened today. There was bills signed with India for $500 billion or whatever it was for the oil. President Trump says he wants to have a meeting with Cuba. Secret flights were flying into Cuba from Russia. Old alliances were, like I've said, by the Spirit of God, the old alliances were being rekindled from the 1960s missile crisis, Cuban Missile Crisis, and the Lord showed us that Russia would be flying. I saw biological things being stored in Cuba's island, but the Lord showed us that they would be liberated soon and that their government would fall. Now, all the things that the Lord showed us, we've been praying over for a while. So all of that's coming in the news today. Trump saying that, hey, they're running out of money. They only have a couple of weeks left of money and oil because of what we did. And we believe we can change all this. Now, Cuba said, we want to have a meeting. So I said, watch them in the secret of the night. That they would try to attack us in the secret of the night. Russia's flying in planes. There's articles about it. And I thought, this is amazing. So during this time frame about the 3rd, you don't have to play it yet, huh? During this time frame about the 3rd, going into the Olympics in 3 days, this is the time frame the Lord said, in the 2-week window, there'll be great decisions that President Trump will make, and this will either make or break his term. But it's up to the church to pray. How do you intercede for President? How will the church intercede for President Trump concerning his life, concerning protection for his family, concerning his presidency, of the speeches that he'll make, concerning the Supreme Court justices, concerning the tariffs, who he chooses for? This is the week that he chose the new, what is it? Jerome Powell. No, the money, the Treasury. He picked the new guy. There's a lot of things that have happened this week, but was it to the extent of what I was expecting? I'm gonna be flat real with y'all. No, I was expecting a lot more this week. The third that the fragrance comes up before like the smell of like feces. What is it? And I started studying, what is it that would stink before the Father? And it's pride, a hand that there were so many things that was in what Dinah was helping me with, of what was an abomination to the Lord that would be a fragrance, because there's so many things that has a fragrance that's good and a fragrance that's bad to the Father. And so the fragrances that are bad to the Father were pride and things like that. Fragrance that are good were like worship and things like that. And it's all in the Bible, and it was in the Old Testament and the New Testament, fragrances. So I want to go over what I said. And so, because like I said, I don't brush it under the rug. I'm very bold about it. And so people say, you saw a volcano. I never saw a volcano. Not this time. I said a great shaking is coming to Italy, but it wasn't in this word. Go ahead and say this.
Padre
Go ahead and play it. You have it? The number 3 was highlighted to me in purple. And it was on a mountaintop. And it was on a ski slope. Now, I'm well aware that the Olympics start on February 6th. But as I was praying into this, the Lord said, watch February 3rd. Pray over February 3rd. And I saw the number 3 going down the mountain like it was a skier, an alpine skier. Trace. What is trace? Trace. That means, I think that's in Spanish. Trace. Uno, dos, tres. Yep, trace. Number 3. Yes, he said, yes, trace. Whatever this is about the 3. So he's talking in Spanish. I'm hearing it in Spanish. And it's concerning 3. It's 3, and he's talking about 3. The number 3. There's something about this 3. I see a major window for a great victory concerning Minnesota. For it to flip red, for there's major victory. The people are tired of the corruption. There's great corruption in Minnesota. And I see the girl with the African American, she's with that thing on her head. The Squad. I'm seeing the Squad, that girl from the Squad. It's concerning corruption. And I see people being, there's something very, like people are fed up with this, to replace her. It's time for her to go. I see the bees. I see like bumblebees. Big black and yellow bumblebees are coming up around her concerning Minnesota. Is she even in Minnesota, son? Is that woman in Minnesota? I don't know why I'm seeing this. And she may not even be in Minnesota, but we said, Brandon, you're missing that big. I'm telling you. You know how when you start a hive and the bees start circling you, trying to sting you, and you start running? These bees are coming up out of the land, and there's beautiful flowers, and there's green, and the bees are coming up out of the land, and they're circling this woman's head.
Wow.
Political theater that will really take off in 2026.
Yeah.
Pray for the 3 judges, February 3rd, Supreme Court, the number 3, ascension to me, major decisions concerning Europe, etc. Praying over the globe. There's more to this you need to see. Judges on the fence concerning things to excel or derail.
Yeah,
And
to
he said-
excel, to derail.
And he said, come boldly to my throne and ask me this. Climb, claim, hold it. It will come. It will come. November, through great prayer, through your chair. From your seat of authority, you have a lot to lose. Don't let the pride stand in the way. Distractions to come. All throughout the year, my son.
Yeah, distractions, all throughout the year, my son. He said, don't let, because Trump has pride, and he said, humble yourself. Humble yourself, son. And he will exalt you in due time. He was talking about humbling yourself because of the pride, and he was talking about the elections.
And then Gavin, the people are fed up. He's trying to hold his ground and have a political crown.
Yeah. And then you saw Mike Lindell, and I'm going to add that.
Do you have more?
Yeah, Mike Lindell.
I wanted to show more what I said about the 3rd. Do you have that?
Yeah, and then you saw Mike Lindell.
Huh? Do you have any stronger clip than that?
We have.
It's okay if you don't.
Yeah.
I just, like I said, what I said about the 3rd. I saw the 3 purple going down an alpine slope. And still to this day, I don't understand what I was seeing concerning the 3. But the Lord said February 3rd would be a stench to me. There's something about it. He said it will be a stench to me. Concerning decisions that will be made. What will be made? And then whenever I had the visitation with the Lord, He said, "This is the path of the valley of the decision. What decision Trump makes in the next couple weeks will be the make or break of his term concerning the next what's about to take place." And if you go back, even whatever the Lord showed us about what would happen with the elections come November, He said they'll lose the Senate, but they'll barely maintain the House if you don't start praying now. If you don't start praying now, you'll lose the Senate and you'll barely maintain the House. And people say, "Oh, that's impossible, Brandon. That will never happen, Brandon." Oh, I said, well, this is what I seen. But last time it was what the Lord showed us, that we would win the Senate and the House, and we would win the presidency. And I told you exactly what the Lord showed us about what states we would even win. And you have the list there, and it was accurate. But here we are with today, and what was yesterday, right? Yesterday?
No,
It was today. It was talked about today. Now play what happened today in Texas.
Padre
You
amado.
have it? It's not playing.
I'm not involved in that. That's a local Texas race. You mean I won by 17 and this person lost? Things like that happen. I'm not on the ballot, so you don't know whether or not it's transferable. But you know, you put the Democrats in, you'll end up with open borders again. You'll end up with crime all over the place.
President Trump warning Republicans after a Texas Democrat flips a state Senate district blue for the first time in more than 30 years. Here with what this means for the GOP ahead of the midterms.
First time in 30 years. I don't know. That's why I told you all, if we don't pray over our elections, this was just a state Senate seat. People are ticked off about things, about all the ICE and all the stuff. And this is why I'm trying to tell you all, if we don't start praying right now concerning our elections coming up and what I have seen coming, we're not going to have no red wave. It's already happening. And people are going, well, we haven't had that in 30 years. Yeah, because people are ticked off. That's Fort Worth, Texas, in a biblical area. That's in a Bible Belt area where they usually are very strong red. Obviously, 30 years of it. And so I thought it was interesting. Now, some people say, well, I still don't say nothing. No, it's what I'm trying to tell you all. If you don't start praying, what we're going to see in the next 8 months, 9 months from now. What is that? Yeah, no. That's about 10 months. So Trump today has a trade deal with India, and so Russia's upset about that. It's trying to weaken things, but this is major deals that have happened today. But I thought the major thing of him saying he wants to have a meeting with Cuba and with Iran. They want to have a meeting with Iran, and Iran is saying they wanted to meet in Turkey and all these things about that. And I thought that was interesting. And every single time, I believe when the Lord is praying, and we've been hearing that, that's what he said today, that they were wanting to have a major meeting with Iran and Turkey so that they would de-escalate this. They didn't want us because we have our boats out there, and then they sent that drone over there. Do you have that?
Yeah, about Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, this is interesting.
Cuba.
These are the things the Lord's been talking to us about in prayer.
Presten atención a esto.
Keep following that one. President Trump says high-level efforts are underway to make some kind of a deal with Cuba, and he is using oil to gain leverage, moving to cut off supplies to ramp up the pressure. Interior Secretary Doug Burgum joins us now. Mr. Secretary, good to see you again out there on a very snowy North Lawn. Looks a lot like your home state today.
Absolutely, a beautiful sunny day here. We love the snow. We love the clear skies. Love the sunshine.
So the president says he's negotiating a deal with Cuba's leadership. Listen to how he put it.
Cuba's a failing nation. It has been for a long time, but now it doesn't have Venezuela to prop it up. So we're talking to the people from Cuba, the highest people in Cuba, to see what happens. I think we're going to make a deal with Cuba.
I think we're going to make a deal with Cuba. So nobody knows what this deal looks like. What can you tell us?
Well, with President Trump, you know, whatever deal that he strikes is going to be good for the American people. And this is just another example of President Trump understanding that energy dominance leads to peace abroad. It leads to prosperity at home. And energy dominance allows energy diplomacy, the ability to take a country like Cuba that was in cahoots with Venezuela, with their corrupt government, Cuba providing security forces to Venezuela, providing other assistance to that, and then in trade, getting Venezuelan oil sanctioned with President Trump now enforcing sanctions. Unlike prior administration, the Biden administration had sanctions on Iran, Russia, others, and then we just turned we turned all these countries into China's discount gas station, and then these countries kept on funding wars and fueling terrorism. With President Trump, when he puts sanctions on, it means something, and then that creates negotiating leverage, and good things happen for America.
That's loud. So basically, bottom line is that things are rolling out. But was it what we thought about the third? Not in my opinion. I've prayed over that, like I said, since the first part of December. And as I saw that number 3 going down the mountain, I thought it had to do with something with skiers. And I still try to figure out all the things the Lord was trying to say to us that day with the alpine skier and the number 3. And the Lord said the 3rd, praying over the 3rd concerning the Supreme Court justices, concerning all these things. Well, the Supreme Court justices are on a break right now until the 21st. So praying over the decisions they will make concerning the tariffs and the speech that he will make on the 24th of or 25th of February in the House of Representatives, his State of the Union. So this is a major time. So, but as we go into the Olympics, the 6th, which is Friday, would be opening ceremony, and then praying over the Super Bowl, which is Sunday. There's a lot of major events, big gatherings of people and big major things to pray about concerning terrorist attacks. But I went over and I told him, I thought he made a little stronger clip than that, but going over what the Lord showed us about that and and everything about what Diana and what she wrote down and everything. But like I said, I'm not here to hide. And so if you feel like, hey, Brandon, you missed it, then we can say we missed it and we'll move on. But I told you what I felt like the Lord had showed us to pray over this valley of decision concerning this week. So, but that's all we really had for you on that part of it. But I have a great urgency still in my spirit concerning this week, concerning the valley of decision, what he does with Iran, what he does with Cuba. In the middle of the night, I saw the planes coming in from China, delivering those whatever these weapons of that we've never seen before, laser weapons. I can't get into a lot of that. Things that would be bad. That's a good enough word. And then I saw the things that concerning California and what Gavin and the corruption, praying over this young man, and praying over Benny Johnson, praying over their protection, and for the uncovering of all the corruption in California and Seattle, Portland, and other states. I believe that if we can get a lot of this darkness uncovered so that the people realize how bad the government has been over the last 4 years plus, whenever Joe Biden was in, it will really show, I believe, and shed light on so that people know how to really vote concerning the election in November. So we will continue to pray for this. Continue to pray for our servicemen and women abroad on the Lincoln and the others. The Kitty Hawk, I don't know. What are the other ones? Mm-hmm. There's a lot. We have a lot of battleships over there right now. But just praying for every one of them, their safety. You know, if your children were on there, if your husband or your wife was on there fighting, you would pray for them really hard too. And I'm so thankful for every one of our service men and women, the people who put their life in danger every single day to keep our nation free. God bless you all. I mean, I can't imagine. I watched Braden showed me what the living conditions were on a battleship like that, and how the bunks were all so close together. It looked like coffins, and they had to take like couple second showers. They don't have any privacy and I said, they live that way. I thought, that would, to me, I don't know how they do it. And then they eat real fast. They're always listening to the ships, the planes taking off there. And all the planes are so loud. They say it's hard. You have to adapt yourself to being able to sleep and everything. And I thought they do that because they want to. They serve our nation and they sacrifice their lives. And I'm so grateful for every single one of them. What a hard job that is. And they don't make nothing. and compared to some jobs. And it's just amazing because they're always on call and always on duty, and they do it because they love our nation. And so, amazing. So let's pray tonight, and we'll go over it. Like I said, we'll go over. I went over as much as what he had there, and talking about the third. Where are we right now? And as I've prayed today, I continue to pray for our president's safety. I continue to pray for our elections, for Oklahoma to not be divided. I saw the dividing of Oklahoma, and as far as the Democratic Republican election here, and the Lord said, you can't even forget the governor's race concerning your own state. We've always been a very dominant red state. But he said this has the opportunity to flip blue. And I thought, there is no way. He said it will be a state divided. Oklahoma. And I've prayed over that. I brought it to the church people. I told them, I said, this is what the Lord has showed me. And it's hard for me to even swallow that because of Oklahoma has been such a dominant red state. But this would be a time, I really truly believe, going into this election cycle, that we will see things that we did never see if we do not pray. We've never seen in a long time. We had Mary Fallon before. We had him twice, Stitz twice. So it's been 16 years plus. I think Brad Henry was before Mary Fallon. And he was Democrat, I think. If I'm not correct, might be missing, but it might have been Brad Henry. But not that it matters. But it's been over almost 20 years, so quite a while. So let's take communion and pray over things, and we'll just intercede for the nations. We'll intercede for things, and I won't keep you a long time tonight. I told Braden, I said I'll try to keep it short. He's trying to study for some tests. And he's been trying to get done with this math stuff he's been doing. And it's all right, son. You don't have to look.
I was trying to figure out how to have the whole list.
I remember, I believe it was Brad Henry. Not mayor.
Mayor. It was governor?
Governor.
Okay.
Did I say mayor?
Governor.
Yeah. Father, we just thank you, Father, for the body.
Yep.
Huh?
Yep, Brad Henry.
Brad Henry.
Yep. January 13th, 2003.
Right. Yeah. He was Democrat.
Yep.
I remember. And then after that, Mary Fallon.
Yeah, it has been 15 years.
15 years. See, I know.
Yeah.
All right.
Vamos a seguir orando, señores, por el presidente de los Estados Unidos, Donald Trump. Todos estos movimientos y todas estas cosas solo dan un solo índice, y es que la venida de Cristo está a la puerta. Todo esto que está aconteciendo, todo esto que ha venido pasando, ¿verdad?, son solamente principios de dolores, como dice la palabra de Dios. El pueblo de Dios tiene que acercarse más a Dios, buscar las armas que se están perdiendo para acercarlas a Cristo Jesús, ya que la Biblia dice que para llegar al Padre hay que pasar por Jesús primeramente. Así que te invito a que comparta este video con alguien más. Hay personas que necesitan escuchar estas informaciones, que no son simplemente informaciones, son revelaciones de parte de Dios para que su pueblo abra los ojos e interceda. En estos videos de Brandon, los últimos, los de ahora, el Señor está incitando a que oren por el presidente Donald Trump. Y quiero invitarte a ti, que si me ves de cualquier parte del mundo, nos ayude a orar por el presidente Trump para que tomes buenas decisiones, porque una guerra de potencia puede recrear o crear una guerra, señores. Y nosotros no queremos eso ahora. Entonces vamos a seguir orando, vamos a seguir clamando para que Dios sea el que venga tomando dominio y control. Bendiciones para todos y nos vemos en un próximo video.